In my video earlier this week, I mentioned that we might be getting closer to it, or close to a more significant bottom in metals. There is still a possibility that this pivot could get undercut, and I'll show you here in just a second. However, gold did recover the 10-day moving average, and it held it on Friday. So it's possible that this is a first daily cycle that's bottomed here and is held above this low. It's probably just going to depend on whether or not we get a big attack Monday and whether or not they can drive gold back below that 10-day moving average. So here's one of the problems. All right, this is GDX. This is the miners. You can see it's still holding well below this support zone. And we're still getting attacks on the mining stocks, and that seems to be the preferred area for the cartel to hit is the miners. You keep the miners suppressed, and you're probably not going to get any huge run in gold or silver. All right, now for the potentially bullish news. First off, the COT reports this week were extremely bullish for both gold and silver. And gold is set up here with a reversal candle. It's not going to take much as long as we don't get a big attack on Monday. It won't take much for gold to form a weekly swing. That was one of the things I want to see before I try and call a bottom in gold. And then for the really bullish, more significant bullish setup, I'm going to move over to silver. So I've noted this in the past that often a bottom will come when smart money, and by that I usually mean like the banks, will create an undercut that causes retail and hedge funds to panic and sell, and then the banks can buy up all of those shares that are being dumped on the market at the exact bottom, and they can take a very large position. Whereas without the undercut and the panic selling, they could not enter a large position without pushing price up and getting worse fills. So we have that potential setup here in silver. We've got a marginal breakdown below this support zone. This got retail traders very bearish, expecting just a complete collapse after this long consolidation, a breakdown of support here. Many gold bugs were anticipating sustained breakdown, and it just didn't happen. We got a quick reversal immediately the next day, and then on Friday, silver closed back above the 10-day moving average. So this has the look of one of those manufactured false breakdowns, allowing the banks to scoop up a bunch of shares and a lot of ounces right here as retail and hedge funds panic sell on this breakdown. So this is potentially a very bullish setup, tempered only by the fact that the cartel keeps attacking the mining stocks. So this is going to boil down to probably whether or not we get an attack Monday morning, and if we do, if the attack can be repelled. Either way, we're going to have an intermediate rally. And I know there's just a ton of gold bugs that are very frustrated. They're throwing in the towel. They don't believe that there's any way that metals can rally. And I doubt that. I am pretty much convinced that gold has completed the 4-year or 8-year cycle top. So let me go back to gold here. So I think this probably is going to turn out to be the 8-year cycle top, and gold is moving down into its 8-year cycle low, but there are going to be intermediate rallies along the way. And we're, more than in the timing band for one right now. You need to temper your optimism though when one of them occurs, because it's probably not going to make higher highs. So while gold is due for an intermediate rally, I have my doubts as to whether or not it will be able to move above this 1920. Governments still have an inflation problem. They're still going to keep attacking the metals market to try and keep gold and silver suppressed, in the hopes that it will keep the rest of the commodity markets suppressed, which, by the way, it is not working at all, and is just a waste of time and money, in my opinion here. But it is what it is. So we're going to have to, metals traders are going to have to deal with this, and in the anticipation that this is probably an 8-year cycle top, then I'm thinking gold is probably stuck between, I'm going to say maybe 1550 on the downside and 1900 on the upside. I doubt that it's going to make any higher intermediate highs and change the downtrend that it's been in. But we are going to have intermediate rallies, so there is a chance that silver is indicating that we've got an intermediate bottom, and that maybe gold is not going to be driven back below this August low here. Again, it's probably just going to depend on whether or not there's an attack Monday morning, and if there is an attack, whether it can be repelled.